It's become routine now.
Oh, you got a nicer one.
Gowns, masks, visors. Physios, nurses, doctors, medical students entering the red zone, the COVID wards of Bradford Royal Infirmary.
We've got the red area almost completely full. We've had to maintain a constant flow. So over the weekend, we have slept out over 7 patients outside our ward.
106 confirmed and suspected COVID-19 patients, exceeding the numbers at this hospital's peak in May.
So the next one is our sickest, one of our sickest COVID. She's side room 5.
This is the second wave, and this is what it looks like. In room after room, the patients lie there, each breath in and out, helped by a machine.
Patients will have a difficult time for about a week or so. They're in respiratory failure, and if we can use this machine to break that period, get over this acute illness, then it saves them from going to the intensive care unit.
It is a lesson learned from the first wave. CPAP, continuous positive airway pressure, has kept many patients out of ICU.
When I first came in, I had a host of problems. I was throwing up. I couldn't keep my balance. And compared that to now, I feel completely different. I'm breathing a lot better.
We will be able to keep a close eye on you for the next 48 to 72 hours. And if you go through that crisis without needing any support, then the worst is over.
90-year-old James Shepherd.
And I'm not one for giving up. So hopefully I should be back.
Can I just say, for a 90-year-old with COVID, you're looking pretty good.
Well, I've always been fairly active, yeah.
The wards are so full now, the hospital has temporarily suspended some non-urgent surgery and outpatient appointments.
It all seems very familiar. The wards filled with COVID patients really filling up quite quickly. And yet it feels also different this time. The medical teams, the people looking after these patients, seem so much more confident. They know what to expect, they know what's coming, and they've adapted.
We definitely have learned from the first experience, so we are treating COVID patients better. Even our junior doctors know what to start when they come to A&E. So a difference is, I'll tell you, when they come to A&E, we are able to request the right bloods on them. Their imaging is always done almost immediately. We are able to risk stratify them, and we are able to institute either oxygen therapy or ventilator support early in their pathway into hospitals. And that will save a lot of lives.
And they have drugs now that they know can help, dexamethasone and different combinations of antibiotics. There is, though, the toll that this takes on the staff.
It feels busier than April, but I think that's because we've got so many green patients as well. So we've got double the caseload because we've got non-COVID as well as COVID. But people are just as unwell. We've had just as many people pass away, I think, if not more recently.
I remember a few weeks ago when I was on call on the weekend, I came home, slept, and then I woke up at 4 a.m. just thinking about the patients, because really anxious about the patients.
But it isn't over when they leave the hospital. The infirmary has now had to set up a team for the post-COVID patients. They've seen 100 since July and have 200 referrals.
I had really bad fatigue. I had to be bed all the time. I couldn't eat well as well.
Kalpana Chowdhury, who's a nurse at the infirmary, spent 8 days in hospital in April. She's still feeling the effects.
We're seeing a wide range of problems, so we're following patients up who needed ventilation on the wards, but we're also taking GP referrals for people who've never been to hospital. And we are spotting a lot of patterns, so we're seeing people with breathlessness, physical fatigue, emotional fatigue, mental fatigue.
Back on the ward, another patient arrives, their face obscured by the oxygen mask. Perhaps their one piece of good fortune is that much has been learned in the past few months, and their chances of surviving have improved. I just wanted to say that there is a tension when people can see film crews going onto these COVID wards and they know that they can't visit their relatives. But the staff here really wanted us to come and see the work they're doing. They're very proud of it. But they also want people to see that these wards are filling up, that there are too many COVID patients. It's a message, really. And this comes as we can see the figures across Yorkshire rising rapidly. And it's also, as we were told today, that Warrington and Nottinghamshire and Nottingham itself are about to go into Tier 3. And that means, of course, apart from all the other restrictions about mixing households, that pubs will only be able to open, pubs and restaurants and bars will only be able to open if they're serving substantial meals. And there will be, we are also told, a business and a financial support package that will be in line with the other areas that have also been put into Tier 3.
Victoria MacDonald.